And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, the final day, or I should say second last day of the EWC qualifiers, the Esports World Cup 2025 Europe Closed Qualifier day number 1. I'm of course just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the one of the final closed qualifiers, or the final closed qualifier for Europa. Here we go. We've been having a very intense week of StarCraft with non-stop EWC qualifiers, with all the open qualifiers for the Asia region, Korea, Americas, and Europe as well. And now we're here to determine who will make it through into the Esports World Cup, who will qualify, who will advance. Let's go. Exclamation mark be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and on top of that, we have our first round. We have our first match of the broadcast. It's going to be a TvP between Gabe and Gerald. Let's go. We're jumping into game one. Game one is going to be on Pylon as we jump into our best of 5. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the German Terran player, the red Terran representing Mouse. It is a HeRoMaRinE. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our best of 5. Not a best of 3, but a best of 5. A lot of best of 5s here available to us. Now, as a reminder, because the bracket is so large, and we can go over the bracket after the series, but because it is so large, it does mean that it's a 2-day event. You can see in the title of the stream, it is day 1 of 2, so we're going to be going over a half of the bracket today. The other half will be tomorrow. So again, 2 days of closed qualifier for the European region. Likewise, tomorrow is also going to be the Korean closed qualifier as well. So we still have the Korean and European closed qualifiers to wrap up before we have concluded our EWC broadcasting. And I believe there's also going to be a future global qualifier as well, open to all regions. These are regionals, but then we have the global one as a final chance, a last chance for players to make it through into the Esports World Cup. Oh boy, here we go. So now we are going to be opening up double gas opener here out of HeRoMaRinE. Likewise, Gerald's going for a gate cyber expand, a standard open out of Gerald. Likewise, a more tech heavy start out of Gabe as we settle into Pylon. Now when it comes to our map of choice here, welcome to Pylon. This is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, known for aggression, known for all ins, known for pushing out across the map real fast and real quick, and being hyper aggressive on Pylon. So my eyes are going to be on Gabe. I do expect him to be the aggressor here because, for those of you that remember, this is a rematch. These two players did actually face off in the open qualifier, and Gabe actually qualified over Gerald in day 1. Did qualify over him, and they did have a back and forth, a back and forth series, a back and forth matchup. It was very intense between the two of them, and Gerald, he thrived, as he always does, in the late game. If you've been watching Gerald over the past couple of months, you would know that Gerald, he has some supreme late game PvT. We've seen him take down Bjorn, we've seen him take down Cure. He's taken down some of the best Terran players in the world in the late game. That is where Gerald can thrive, but can he get there? That's the thing. I would say that if we can get into a more standard game state, a more longer game state where Gerald's able to have a secure 4-base setup, I do favor him. But before that, in the early to mid game, that's where I favor Gabe. That's why I favor our Terran player, trying to be aggressive and trying to break Gerald ahead of time before we can get comfortable. So here we go. So far we have our initial 1-1-1. When it comes to our opener of choice here, not just double gas, going for the, of course, CC before the starport, we open up Widowmine with the factory. So we open up with the Widowmine drop, but I'm curious mostly about the follow-up tech of choice, about that tech lab and how it's thrown down and how it's incorporated into the build here of Gabe. As we have a reactor on the ranks, initial Reaper Hellion poking out across the map. Not committing too hard, but does have a presence. Meanwhile, Reaper Hellion out of position. Adept does sneak by. Yeah, nice movement here by Gerald. He will delay the CC, at least look to. Extra boys are being pulled. The CC will complete. CC will complete here. Reaper Hellion does race back. To see the mine shot baited out by that hallucination. That also means that we have limited scanning in the main, and when it comes to the main base, here comes the drop. Now, of course, the Widowmine is spotted. It's going to be 2 Widowmines and a handful of extra units into double Tech Lab. This is what we're waiting for. Tech Lab on the factory, Tech Lab on the starport as well. Getting ready for tank production, getting ready for cycling, for Banshee production as well. Meanwhile, Gabe moves out. Does move out initially with that drop. Back at home is going to be a Gerald to keep up. He does have a shield battery here on the low ground. Claiming his third base. 2-gate blink. Ooh, 2-gate. Sorry. Yeah, essentially 2-gate blink into a third base. Third gateway is much more delayed. So very greedy here from Gerald. Gerald is being distracted, being dragged away. And we get the drop into the main. Gerald not quite in position. Mine's just going to be going up. Claiming one probe. Oh, doesn't waste the other shot. Oh my god, the probes out. Oh, they're trapped. No, the SimCity. They have to get out of here. They're retargeting. Oh my god, brutal connection. 10 probes go down. There's a full wall here. The probes, they couldn't get out. They couldn't leave. Ay, ay, ay. Some rough movement there. Some rough SimCity working against Gerald. That's going to be 10 probes going down. Ay, ay, ay. And on top of that, the Woodmine survives. The Woodmine does survive. The Marines as well. Gabe, he can always go back in. And behind this, remember, we spoke about the tech labs. We do go for an initial tank, but only a single tank. Bam! Into Cloak Banshee. Into Cloak Banshee. The Banshee does avoid the Stalkers, as they only just now take over the Zelnaga and barely don't catch wind of that Banshee. Banshee does sit by. Back at home. Detection. Zero. Zero detection. Do you see what I see? I see no Robo. No Robo, no Stargate, no Forge. Zero detection here for Gerald, and the 1-2 punch is about to arrive. Initially, the Mind Drop wreaking havoc, but it's not about the Mind Drop. It is about the Banshees. As here we go. They are revealed. For the time being, he does reveal Cloak as probes are going down. There's that recall, and there's Cloak. Yeah, Cloak is now revealed, and there is no answer. Now, thankfully, the Banshee's focusing on the shield battery instead of going for probe damage. So Gerald gets time to react and time to respond. Here comes the second Banshee. This is at least denying any kind of mining here at the third. This could have been dealing a little bit more critical damage, but I mean, it's damage nonetheless. As Gerald literally has no answer to this. He has no answer. But Gabe, he's playing it safe. He's like, you must have a Robo. You must. I'll just play calm. I'll just calm down. I mean, here comes the second Banshee. Into the natural, and again, there is no detection. There's a shield battery, thankfully. There is that shield battery, but mining is being denied. Likewise, another Banshee here towards the third, and there's just no economy. We have a one base economy here from Gerald. Trying to get things back up and running. There we go. Banshee does hit third once again. As the Banshee once again just denying any kind of mining here. Gerald, he's getting back up to his saturation, but here comes the push. Here comes the follow-up. And again, Gerald, his economy has been so stifled. It's just been so haphazard. And without a proper economy, here we go. Gabe coming in for the kill, coming in for the throat. Zealots, they commit in. That starts stepping here out of Gabe. Yeah, shuts down the Zealots, pushes into the bases. From here, Gerald, I mean, he has nothing. The problem here is that, again, because he was not even mining from his natural third base for so long, he has no army. There is no army, there is no defense. He does dive on the tank does go down, but these are brutal trades here for Gerald. You can see him plummet in supply. And here they say, it's not lying, Pat. It's not lying. Oh, no. Likewise, Banshee goes back into the natural. Gerald's being pulled apart. And Gabe going for the kill, diving into the natural. And from here, it does overwhelm. 26 probe kills and counting. 30. 30 workers going down. And again, it was just a really unfortunate start here for Gerald. As a reminder, it was just a really unfortunate SimCity in the main base, so it all began with 10 probe kills, which is already crazy, by the way. And we saw that Gerald, he was cutting corners. Remember, he went for the third base, he went for extra gateways, he went for the Forge, all before the Robo. I mean, the Forge was a response to the Banshee even, to try to get detection, I would imagine. But even now, there is no detection, there is no Robo, no Observer, no nothing. Gerald, he barely survives here at the natural, barely does fend off the attack. And here comes the second wave, the game. And there it is, GG gets called, and HeRoMaRinE will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Whew. Again, Gabe, he will claim the first game, but as a reminder, this is a best of 5. This is a best of 5, so plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. A strong start here out of Gabe, but, you know, that was Pylon. Pylon known for aggression, known for these more intense styles. I would imagine, depending on the map, that Gerald can get into a more comfortable start as we jump into game number 2. I do see some people posing questions in the chat. For those who are curious, yes, of course, this is live. We never do any reruns on the channel. If this is ever a replay cast on the CranKy Ducklings, it is stated in the title, so always have a look at the title, like if you're maybe unfamiliar with the events that are currently happening at the time. So yes, this is a live event. I say live event, it's kind of live. What I mean by that, there's a 2-minute delay. Exclamation mark delay in the chat will let you know how much of a delay there ever is, whether it's, you know, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, no delay. It will tell you depending on the broadcast of choice. Also, someone's asking, is this or are the matches all happening at the same time? Yes, all the matches are happening concurrently. They're all happening at the same time, and because of that, there are going to be matches that won't be casted because there are limited casters. From my understanding, I think I'm the only side stream. I think I'm the only, I'm the B stream. Like, there's the main stream. The main stream, they are covering Showtime versus Wayne. We are covering Gerald versus HeRoMaRinE, and of course there are other language casters like Indie, like TKL, other casters like Kevin Ray, Enki in Spanish, Cosmos in Portuguese. Like, there are other language casters covering other matches. But when it comes to English, I don't think there's another English commentator, unfortunately. I might be mistaken, but I believe that we are the only other one. Smooch. So here we go. We're jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom hand corner here of Tokamak. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player from the land of Germany representing Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. Here we go. So I don't know if we can see Rainer for his match. Potentially, if we have... I believe there is an Italian caster at times. If he's casting today, then there might be a stream covering some of Rainer's matches in Italian. Or maybe maybe one of the other language casters is going to be covering a series as well. It's possible. So do check out the other language casters if you're looking for other specific matchups. We're quite limited in what we can follow, and of course we have committed to our PVT here to start off the broadcast. Let's go. Here we go. For now, economic opener. We do have, remember, if you recall, last game we had a double gas opener into a faster factory. It initially started with a Wooden Mine drop into Cloak Banshee. Here, single gas opener, faster CC, a more economic start. And again, this does make plenty of sense on Tokamak. This is a map where I do favor Gerald more so than on Pylon. We spoke about how Pylon is known for aggression. The rush distance by ground is really short, so you can be hyper aggressive on Pylon. And we saw Gabe just pull his opponent apart, but the map did assist Gabe. Here on Tokamak, larger map, longer rushes by ground, more secure bases. We do expect Gerald to thrive a little bit more here when it comes to defending and saturating on 2, 3, and 4 bases. We spoke at the start of the series, if you weren't here for it, that Gerald, he has taken maps off of Gabe before. He did do so in the qualifiers, and that was off of the late game. Again, we've seen Gerald take series off of Cure, take series off of Björn in recent times, all from that late game, or just thriving in the late game as well, able to slow the game down, able to max out, get into that end game composition. That is where Gerald is at his best. That's where he's going to try to head. We'll see if he can get there. If he can, then hey, he can pop up. So timing, we do have our Twilight Council opener out of Gerald, working towards Blink. We go. As we are going for a Blink base opener. Meanwhile, we do see, of course, Gabe expanding on low ground. Did go for a safe economic start by going for the CC on the high ground. Does float over. Will be able to expand uncontested, undisturbed. Hallucination will get a full scout of the main. Oh, and I believe, did we see the research? Barely did. There we go. Does get a full scout. Behind this, we do see double tech lab. Cloak Banshee, third CC. Oh my god, an insanely fast third base here out of Gabe. So very greedy here in the follow-up. And thankfully, the Cloak Banshee this time was spotted, was confirmed. And Gerald, he does already have the Robo on the way. You can see a stark difference already here when it comes to the builds from Gerald. This time, he does open up 3-gate blink into a Robo. A much safer style here from Gerald. We'll have detection, we'll have extra stalkers. And this will delay the third base for a little bit, but will be safer as a result. So Gerald playing safe, will be going for his expansion. Now what I will say, as we're seeing our more safer and economic build here by Gerald, unfortunately Gerald, he's unaware of how greedy, oh no, my apologies, he did scout how greedy Gabe is being, but with this setup, I don't know if he can really punish it. Again, he's not going for like a prism early on, he's not going for extra stalkers, he's not delaying his third base any further. So Gabe, he should get away with this. He should get away with this. He will be able to embrace that greater economy. Cloak is done in a couple of seconds. Banshee is out. We have another Banshee on the way behind this as well. And these will keep Geralt busy. Behind this, throwing down more Raxes. Building up. And Shadow Inko in the chats. So again, there are plenty of other language casters out there, and most of them are spreading out and covering their own preferred matches. So you can shop around and find the specific series you're looking for, as there are a lot of matches happening at once. Understandable. Fully understandable. There's a lot of matches. As Gabe does hit the natural. Gets one probe, but only one. And this time a much cleaner defense here. Banshee goes down. Nice defense so far by Gerald. And again, a lot of this is all because, one, safe build, but two, he scouted. Like, he knew. He knew what was coming his way. He was aware of the Cloak Banshee. Meanwhile, there's a second Banshee that's moving out towards the left-hand side. Towards the main base here of Gerald. Likewise, Gabe breaking out, taking his much faster third. Like, again, because Gabe is getting such a fast third base, it does mean that he's going to have just a really impressive mid-game. Like, he will skyrocket ahead in the mid-game, I should say, when it comes to his supply. It's going to be on Geralt to try to do some economic damage after the initial Banshee defense, as he does find the second Banshee. Second Banshee is found. Geralt, he does respond. He will lose one probe, and once again, only one probe. Up! Oh, can he get it? Ooh, barely can. And so far, a better defense here by Geralt. Again, he will snipe 2 Banshees, 2 Cloak Banshees, for only losing 2 probes. Like 3 in total, but that was to the Reaper earlier. So very nice defense here. I would say a better defense here, and the initial investment into Cloak Banshee was not worth it for Gabe. You could argue that, I mean, at least the Cloak Banshees did force Geralt to stay back at home. That is true, but regular Banshees could have done the same thing. And because of that, Geralt, he's able to hold his own, maintain himself, get a 4th base. But what's important here is, again, that 3rd base timing of Gabe. What's scary here is that typically the Protoss player wants to be up a base. Because of the way that mules work, Protoss player wants to be up an expansion compared to the Terran, but here we're even on bases. And the worker count is even as well. So Gabe is actually ahead. Like, HeRoMaRinE, he's ahead economically. And with that, that's why his supply is looking as impressive as it is. And it's gonna get even more impressive. Again, it's on Geralt not just to expand, but to do something about the economy. Zella run by, Zella drops, Storm drops even. Some way to slow down Geralt, sorry, to slow down Gabe. We'll see if Geralt can pull this off. Otherwise, Gabe will snowball out of control. Geralt is being active with Stalkers. Stalkers, they fan out towards the left-hand side. Prism towards the right. As the army gets spotted. Oh god! They spot each other. Nice catch there on the Shimmer. Observer goes down. Gabe is keeping up with the War Prism. Likewise, Stalker still being active as well. 4th CC on the way. Gabe just once again just doubling down and looking to gain a greater economy. Headed towards a longer game state. Does sneak out. This is unscouted. Zelse will run, or they will run into Gabe. But again, they're going to be shut down. 2, 3. Oh. 2 Zelts going down. Geralt out of position. He's racing back home. Yes, completely out of position. There's no energy. There's no recall. Ooh. Storm will zone. Storm will buy time. Geralt coming in with the intercept. Let's go. And we'll see if Geralt can catch a Gabe. Stalkers move in. There's the stim. Here comes the storm. Oh my god. Whew. And Gabe, he will get away. Yeah, likewise, reinforcements coming in as well. Who surrounds who? How good are the storms going to be? We get some okay storms, but the army is already spread. And Gabe, he will hold. He will save his medevacs. He will save his army. This is going to be a messy fight here for Gerald. He wants those tanks, though. Oof. It does storm the tanks. But what about the fire? Likewise, zoning storms. Yeah, more storms for the Marines, but alas, it's just too much of a chaotic fight in the end. Gerald, he does lose his army. Gabe stimming in, shutting him down. Again, a very chaotic engagement in the end. Gabe does come out on top. He lost all of his tanks, but the Marines, the bio army, they did survive. Again, we saw storms mainly on mech units, mainly on tanks, mainly on some fringe marauders here and there, but no major connections. Speaking of, another High Templar goes down. And we spoke earlier about the economy and how Gabe was ahead with that, and that was soon going to be reflected in the supplies. You can see that here. You can see Gabe now with a massive supply lead. Again, he's on 4 bases. He has a booming economy and now has a massive army as a result. He's got ghosts, got widow mines. We spoke about how the pressure was on Gerald to try to punish the economy in some way. He didn't do so. He wasn't able to. He wasn't able to get into any mineral lines. He failed to slow Gabe down. Gerald, he's forced to engage, has to save his base, his 5th. Oh, show us an over. Ooh, that's a kill. It's a kill, not a cancel. Brutal pickup. Match going off, slowing down Gerald as well. 9 probes do fall. Drop here on the right-hand side. Ooh, does force a recall. And Gerald's being pulled apart. As Gabe is coming back in. Yeah, there's a cancel. Gerald, he knows he just cannot defend. He's out of position. Remember, he recalled. So he's now racing back over. And Gabe is maxed. Gabe at this point, he's maxed out. Again, he got away with so much greed at the start. And the safe play of Gerald really did hurt him in the end. So just a really good read there from Gabe. To go for that, to read that even. As once again another cancel, once again another denied base. Speaking of, and another, as Gerald, he just cannot expand. He just wants a base, papi. Ay ay ay. And Gabe stims in, shuts down all the charge lots. Just some Colossus running out of storm. The Colossus, they can hold the line. Gabe once again going back in. Behind this, Ghost production well underway. Second starport getting into Liberator range. Working towards Liberators. Gabe is almost there. Likewise, to combat all these Colossus, Vikings. So Viking production has begun. So he's working towards those Vikings. Never goes off. Ooh. Doesn't quite connect. Storm does graze the army. Better storm towards the end, but that was maybe the best storm we've seen so far, but it's too little too late. Gabe stims on in. Takes down the Colossus, takes out everything. Brutal EMP here on the Warping and Zealots. And these are still trades that Gabe can afford. He can still afford them back. And cleans up all the charge lots. Brutal positioning there for Gerald. At this point, Gabe has to calm down. A lot of his reinforcements are back at home. Still moving out. So Gabe, he backs off. He's going to consolidate his army. He's going to bring everything together. And Gerald, you can see how well you can defend on 4 bases, right? Like the 4-base setup here of Gerald has been secure. That hasn't been the problem. The problem is no 5th, right? He cannot claim a 5th base, as he does not have map control. The 5th is the issue. Speaking of the 5th base, Gabe, he has his own. His own base is already up. So despite the probe count of Gerald, he's not mining efficiently. He has a lot of workers, but he can't really mine using them. Cannot make use of them. Sniping another High Templar. Ooh. Better Storm. Better Storm towards the end. Likewise collapsing in on those ghosts, getting one. Stalkers are coming from behind, and Gabe has the overextended. Nice pickoffs, takes down the ghosts. Ghosts are going down. Better fight here for Gerald. Liberation coming in from behind. As Gabe does reinforce, it's gonna hell out of here. Oh, Medevac's gonna be going down, and he will lose almost every single Medevac. Very nice catch. And from here, despite the momentum that Gabe has had, he does pull in supply. Likewise, Liberators are on their own, and every Liberator is going to be falling. Again, Gabe did overextend. He will lose everything. And Gerald, he's back in this. Okay, Gerald, he's back in this. More importantly, he needs a base. he needs an expansion. Take a Nexus, Mappy. Take a Nexus. 5th base on the way. Gabe's his is up and running, so he can just remax. You can remax, you can rebuild. But again, there was a very just chaotic fight there for Gabe. Getting surrounded, so because they came in from behind. Again, the storms were much better this time for Gerald. They were on point. Speaking of storms, do we have any High Templar? 6. Okay, 6 High Templar. They're not with the main army. Planetary is done. Gerald's moving out. And can Gerald stabilize? Oh, as he bleeds out some Stalkers. Oh, God. The Disruptor goes down. As we go here from Gabe, it does catch the Disruptor, does catch Narcon. Gerald, he's not quite there yet. He's got 3 Disruptors, and again, he mainly has High Templar. The Ghost count was basically reset. So there's not that many EMPs. EMP here on the Stalkers. Where are the Ghosts? There we go. Sorry, someone say, where are the High Templar? Where are the High Templar? They do come in. Nice Storms. Yeah, Storms, they do come in. They punish the army. Gerald, he's holding the line, but you can see the rally here from Gabe. He's just rallying everything across the map, stimming across the map. He's coming. He's on the way. The Ghosts are coming even. Gerald does move in. Yeah, there are the EMPs. And with those EMPs, Gerald, he just cannot hold his own. Not anymore. Again, Gerald was impressive. He was able to take the fight earlier. But he's still up against a greater economy. He's still up against a Gabe that can max out. A HeRoMaRinE that can just max out. The Go Liberation has arrived. Stalkers, they blink in. The Stalkers, they go down. That was a brutal blink. And GG gets called. Gabe will take a 2-0 lead in the series. Here we go. GG, well played. Again, Gabe, he had a very strong start to the game, getting away with a faster 3rd base, a faster 4th base. Because of that, he was able to have a greater army as well. Initially, the opener was better for Gerald. Remember, he shut down the Banshees. He had a really, really good start against a Glowing Banshee, but we spoke about it. We spoke about how the more defensive and safe play of Gerald was kind of hurting him in the long run against Gabe, who was being greedy, who was cutting corners, and he got away with it. Gabe, he got away with it. With that, he was able to just deny the 5th base, 3, 4, 5 times. It was insane just how much pressure Gabe was able to apply with that greater army. And there was that one moment where Gabe did overextend. Yes, that is true. There was that one moment where he did overextend on the left-hand side, where he did end up getting surrounded and he lost his entire army. That was a strong moment for Gerald. But as you saw, because of the better mining, the better base count, the better economy of Gabe, he could afford it. He could afford to make a mistake there. He could afford to lose an army. He can just rebuild and remax. Gerald could not. He could not afford those trades, could not afford those losses. And as a result, Gabe still overwhelmed. Still did overwhelm. GG, well played. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into game number 3, as we're going to be loading into Incorporeal. Let's go. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the green Protoss representing Streamer Zone down in the series, and he's up against the wall. One more loss and he is out of the upper bracket. So can he fight back? Can he make a series out of this? I want to believe he can. It is Gerald. Spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player, we have the German Terran representing Team Mouse, leading the series 2-0, and 1 game away from advancing on to the next round. It is HeRoMaRinE. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, siema, papi, siema. Where can I see Cyril play? I believe Cyril, someone mentioned it earlier, but I believe he's being coached by Enki. Enki, El Hermoso. He's one of my fellow Ducklings. Fellow Duckling. Let's go. So we are moving in. As we are settling in, and once again, Gabe going for an economic opener. Once again, single gas guys are here, not double gas, so we're going for a faster CC. We do see Gerald, he does force the CC off center, which is going to cause a little bit of just a little bit of inefficiency here in the early game. Of course, he can just lift and land. But nice little win there for Gerald. And we'll see how he will change his approach here. Again, last game we saw a bit of a safer build out of Gerald, and we'll see if he will once again play safe. We'll see if he can cut corners. Welcome to Incorporeal. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps of the map pool. One of the larger maps. So we do expect to see more economic builds. I mean, that's what we're seeing here out of Gabe. And we can once again embrace the mid game here. At least we're looking to do so. As behind this, Twilight Council for Geralt once again working towards Blink. We have seen 2 gate Blink play, 3 gate Blink play. We'll see how many gateways he does throw down. We'll see how safe or aggressive he plans on being. Let's go. So we have that 1-1-1 follow-up. I'm loving how annoying Geralt's being. Let's go. Does shade underneath the CC, takes out the Hellion, not bad. Takes down the Hellion, going for the other as well. Nice early game pickups here from Geralt. Body blocking as well, looking down the Hellion. Okay, let's go. Takes down 2 Hellions, takes down the Marines, denies mining at the natural. Shouldn't get too much more damage, but again, is denying mining time. So it does delay the economy. Nice start here for our green Protoss. Behind this, we have extra gateways on the way. So as we mentioned before, we were curious how many gateways will be thrown down. 3 gates set up here, 3 gate Blink out of Geralt into a 3rd base. If you recall, last game we did see a Robo before 3rd. So again, last game we had a more safer and more kind of defensive start. This time we're cutting more corners. As Hellions, they do race past. Oh! And we do get a force field look down. One of the Hellions, yeah, just the one. First Hellion will fall, the other does get into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. Does take 3 shots to kill a probe and does get 1. 1 probe goes down. And Geralt does hold. Behind this, I didn't notice Cloak, but oh no, never mind, Cloak was cancelled. Does pull out. And to be honest, after seeing Game 1, Game 2, now coming into Game 3, I do actually prefer Geralt's start here more than any other game so far. He's getting into his own. He gets some of the game damage, he defends against the Hellions, he gets a faster 3rd base, getting it up and running. So far, so good. Likewise, the Hallucination Scout earlier did confirm Cloak Banshee, which makes sense as to why Gabe would cancel it. Now we go for the rescouts. Confirming the add-on swap, Stim on the way. The Banshee, I believe, was still produced. Yeah, Banshee is still moving out. Cloakless. Oh! Let's go, does dive into the main. Does pick up a couple of workers. 2 SCVs going to be going down. Will bleed out a Stalker, though. Gets a tank. Tank is picked off. Nicely done here by Gerald. From here, pulls away. Likewise, Banshee towards the 3rd. But there is that shield battery. Geralt, he has time to react. He has time to respond. with that, he will. This does distract Gerald, but so far, nice damage. Again, getting the tank. And we'll see how committed Gabe is going to be. For now, he's still on 2 bases. He's getting up to a 5-rack setup already. 2 racks is hidden here at the natural. Oh boy. So he's building up on 5 racks. This time, no third CC in sight. By now, last game, we already had one that was finishing up by now. But this time, no command center. So Gerald is going to be that much more aggressive, working towards Concussive Shell. Building up towards his sim timing. Let's go. Is building up. We have Storm on the way. And Storm should be done in time here for the eventual push. But does it get spotted? Hallucination does spot the move out. But he's aware. Does have the Zonaga. You can see Gerald responding. He's now moving in. Hoping to slow this down. Or even backstab. The army is spotted. And Gerald trying to catch reinforcements. Hopefully doesn't get surrounded. Oh, gets a Widowmine. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 Widowmines go down. For a Stalker, he does force out a stim. And again, he's distracting Gabe. The Stalkers are going to go down though. As there's no escaping this. Does recall and he will escape with 2. Barely 2. 2 Stalkers recall. Storm is now done. How many High Templar? 2. So far, 2 High Templar. Prism is on the way. Joshi's getting ready. Gabe moving in. There's that scan. Does scan, does spot the army. Oh no! Oh, that first High Templar is going to get caught out. Oh, thanks to Shield, he does not survive. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the storms are so crucial here. Tactile Siege, Gabe pushing in, and Gerald, he does a bend in the 3rd. Yeah, unable to slow this down. Unable to stop this ahead of time. And the base will fall. Gerald, he's in trouble. Has to pull away. Okay, still on 3 High Templar. Sorry, 4. 4 High Templar already. There's the NG overcharge. That's still such a Marauder heavy composition. And again, this is all on 2 bases. Oof. Gabe is committed. There's just not enough on the ground. Gerald goes for a Zealot run by. They're not at home to defend. And even if they were, I don't know if he could. Yeah, Storm zones. And Gerald's out of position. He's stuck on the low ground. Gabe goes straight for the kill, straight for the natural. Depowers the Robo. Gerald, he does catch reinforcements, but he cannot engage with the main army. It's just not going to happen. As Zealots, they bust into the mid right now. They're getting SCVs. SCVs are going down. Gerald comes in from behind. Oh, doesn't get the tank, just barely not. The tank survives. Stalkers go down. Ay, ay, ay. And Gabe, at this point, he is doing it. He does break the natural. The natural goes down, now pushing towards the 3rd. And there's just barely an army here for Gerald. Gerald, he probed up to 75. Oh my god. Jesus. I didn't realize just how many probes he had made. Oh my god. When really this was a 2-base all-in. Remember, no, there was never a 3rd base here for Gerald. Sorry, for Gabe. He did hide the 2 ranks earlier to make it more difficult to scout. But he just committed on 2 bases. Went for the all-in. Gerald is getting ready for a longer game. The 75 probes, they didn't help back. They didn't help. And with that, Gabe, he can stim and he can win. Does push through. Takes down another High Templar. Boys are being pulled. Gerald getting desperate. Again, it's his final stand. Trying to hold on. Storm zones away. The army is overstimmed. And we get an okay storm towards the end. That was the final storm, though. That was the final storm. Gerald down to 2 Stalkers, down to 1 Zealot. Base goes down. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel. GG. And Gabe, he will take the series 3-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. HeRoMaRinE, he will claim the series, he will advance on. Again, Gerald, he was able to hold his own in some aspects here, especially coming into game 3. I do feel like over the course of the series, Gerald, he was able to get a better handle on his opponent. But unfortunately, as we pointed out, we did see Gabe, he did commit into a 2-base all-in. Didn't pull the boys, you don't have to pull the boys to go for an all-in, but he did hide his Raxes, he did double down, did commit. We saw that Gerald, at least towards the end, that he was getting ready for a longer game state. He was getting a 4th base up and running. He was saturating as well. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to engage ahead of time and force the army to slow down and force like the early sieges. The Stalkers, they were able to, again, distract for a moment. That is true. But outside of that, Gerald, he was unable to stop the siege, unable to stop the main army. And Gabe did snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played with that. HeRoMaRinE, he will advance on. And let's catch up on the bracket and figure out where we are and where we are headed.